Hello, everyone, and welcome to this midday meditation. And today's topic is to being a spiritual trendsetter. There is this psychological phenomena within human beings to be part of a group, or to want to be part of a group, a deeper sense of feeling safe or secure is there. Somehow, subconsciously, we feel more safe and secure when part of a group. And I know I'm generalizing, but this phenomena is there. And so there is this tendency to kind of follow group patterns. Now, for a herd or a flock to change directions, it just needs one or two who move into a different direction with a speed and with conviction and determination, with their eyes set on their goal. And then they have the potential to shift the direction of the whole group, the herd or the flock. Now, recently, I was in upstate New York in our retreat center, and it was the time that the geese are traveling. And so big flocks of geese, they come and land, and they are in the pond there for 1 or 2 days, and then they move on. And I had the opportunity to observe this behavior in animals. And so there's this whole flock of geese, they are there. And all of a sudden, 1 or 2, they head for the sky. But with a determination, they start flapping their wings and they go and they fly up. And then others follow. And same way also when they come, there's a whole flock that is flying, and 1 or 2, they come down underwater there, and then the whole flock follows. And I've seen this behavior also with sheep and different animals, or with fish. When you see these underwater films, when they show this big group of fish, one shifts and then the whole flock shifts. It's quite interesting phenomenon. Now, human beings have this same pattern. But it is not just a physical movement, although sometimes downstairs here in Fifth Avenue, looking out of the window, there may be building some skyscraper, construction is going on, and one person stands still and he looks up. And everybody who walks by will also look up. Some even stand still together. Now they form a group of standing still, looking at the skyscraper. But everyone who walks by, they will also look up. But this is physical behavior. But same happens with our tendencies and habits and traditions that are formed. Now, one person at some stage somewhere in England started celebrating Christmas with a tree. And he put a big Christmas tree. And others start following and following and following. And now all over the world, Christmas is celebrated with a tree. In families also, grandparents start with a certain tradition. We pray before we have our dinner, and the whole family prays together. And at the end of dinner, we pray together. And then this tradition continues a few generations down the line. Somebody starts something and others pick it up. And this same phenomena also happens at, you could say, level of consciousness or psychic level of thoughts. Once we start thinking in a certain way, And those ideas are powerful. No? There is a certain determination and a certain dedication to that idea. Others catch it on and start thinking in the same way, thinking along the same lines. Now, for us as spiritual students or those who have interests in spirituality, we can be spiritual trendsetters. Start meditating. Start generating that energy and that vibration of creating pure, peaceful thoughts. Start generating understandings and experiences based on soul consciousness and understanding the self as a spiritual, invisible being of consciousness, a timeless observer of the drama of life. And more you do that inside, it will invisibly touch others and they will also be pulled in that direction. So this is an invitation for you to be a trendsetter, a pioneer, but spiritually. Because this is what the world is needing today. For us to change our paradigm, to change our perspective, to drop the ego, to become free from the bondages to limiting and superficial ideas of self, and to come in a more spiritual awareness and spiritual frame of mind, to perceive this physical dimension in a different way, through a spiritual lens, to learn to see it as a game, as a play, where the invisible being of consciousness come to act out the part. But that beyond this physical dimension, there is a home, the home of souls. That dimension of silence and light, the invisible dimension, the dimension of God. And more our consciousness gets tuned into that, the eye of the mind starts being focused and seeing that, the mind's eyes of others will be pulled towards that too. So, spiritual trendsetters, let's start generating with a bit more concentration, more deeper, deeper concentration and conviction, generating that mindset and those kinds of thoughts that create that vibration of soul consciousness. And invisibly, others will also be pulled to look into the invisible dimension. So for a few moments, let there be the conscious reminder that our true existence is at an invisible and timeless, imperishable level. The real self. This being of consciousness. Soul. And of course, what we perceive through the senses, through the eyes and ears, through touch, is the package, or the role, the costume. body or male or female or specific physical features or the part that is being acted out. That is what we perceive through the senses. But that is just the part. Like a character in a play or in a movie. But the actor is the invisible, immortal soul. And one can use the image of a tiny point, like a star of light. Bodiless, imperishable, free, and playful, living light. This is the real self. One who is like a timeless traveler. And his body is just a temporary stop on the journey. And when this body perishes, the traveler just goes on into another body or goes back to the home of the travelers, the soul world. And more that the mind becomes aligned with this subtle and invisible dimension and understanding of the self as the subtle, invisible, innately divine being of light. This mind becomes aligned with experiencing this is the true identity. More others will be pulled. And pulled means they will get interest. You'll have a touching or feeling, oh, let me also find out what is this meditation all about. What more is there? And they will start their own journey. Let us firmly set this trend, fully realizing that all the big problems at the individual level, at the collective level, at the level of society as a whole, all the complications and problems, they all have their root cause in spiritual ignorance and a limited awareness of self and limited awareness of truth of our existence. Of a distorted perspective towards the world of matter. All problems come from ego. And just for a few moments, hold this clear awareness of self as this tiny living star. Free, innocent, playful, peaceful. Living light. And peace is the natural nature. Purity is our original state, natural state of being. Pure, peaceful, joyful, playful, unearthly, living light. Sitting behind the eyes in the center of the forehead, observing the body and observing this big game going on, this drama. Silent, invisible observer who is free. Free to come and free to go. Nothing to hold on to, fully self-contained. This being is a child of God. And more one is aware of the true self and lives in that more refined state of awareness, more we become aware and experience that sweet eternal bond with the Supreme. But for this, we have to drop the ego, the false identities, the limited beliefs and ideas. Let us set the trend to become free from all those limitations. Thank you. And have a good